Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Tuesdays with Turner. I just wanted to say hello to all the people that are coming to me from all over the world. I've got a cat. Cat, will you please let me do? Oh my gosh, she's rubbing on my foot. If you're watching, please go ahead and let me know so I know who's in the audience. I'd love to know where you're from. As you know, I come every Tuesday at 1 o'clock my time here in Florida. I don't know what time it is in your neck of the woods. And this cat is just here. Cat, this is the cat. It's not going away. So anyway, today I wanted to talk to you about fabric collage. I'm going to give it a few more minutes to see if we have some more people show up, but we're going to be talking about some fabric collage today. Hi, Deanna. It's good to see you. I've been getting a lot of questions about fabric collage, and so I wanted to focus my Tuesday with Turner on some of the questions I'm getting for fabric collage. So just give it a few more minutes. We'll see who's coming, and let me know where you live, where you're coming from. It's always good to see who's watching and where you're from. Where do you hail from? I come from Clearwater, Florida. I was originally from Linwood, New Jersey, and I'm going to ask my husband to come get the cat. Can you come get this cat, please? The cat, for whatever reason, whenever I go to do this, wants to be in my lap and my feet and whatever. So I'm going to ask the cat to kind of like give me some space right now so I could talk about fabric collage. Hi from New York City. It's very nice to see you here. I know Tammy's from Illinois, Peoria, Illinois, is it, Tammy? And I think she also she comes to Florida a lot. She's got family in Florida. Deanna was from, I think she's in Florida right now. I'm not really sure. Ocala, Florida for the winter this year. Oh, very good, Deanna. That's great. And Terry's from Elk Grove, California. Wonderful. That's fantastic. So we're all over the place here. Christina's from the UK. Hi, Christina. It's great to see you. Okay, so one of the things that I want to talk about today, Tennessee. Yes, Dan, that's what I thought. I thought you were from Tennessee. I'm beginning a lot of questions about fabric collage. Now, people want to know they have a lot more questions than I could possibly answer. And so I have some great news for you. Saturday, April 24th, for 1 hour, I will be doing a live demonstration on fabric collage. This is the first time I've ever done this. This means you'll be able to watch me do a demonstration. And I'm going to be demoing on these koalas. And so if you want to learn fabric collage and you can't take a webinar or workshop with me, my webinars are 10 hours. And this year I have not opened up any new webinars. And so I've had so many questions about my patterns. I've decided what better way to just let you take you through the process. It's the next best thing to being in a webinar. Hi, Diane from the Jersey Shore. Great. Instead of, it's nice to have you here. Instead of you trying to make time to see, and many of you have. I've had a lot of people here that have attended my webinars, and they're doing wonderful work. But you can watch me. So that means if you purchase the pattern, or if you have a pattern, or you go to my website and look at my blogs about my patterns, the next best thing is to have me show you step by step how to do this. And so if you get the pattern, this is what the pattern looks like. So this is what the pattern looks like. This is what I'm going to be demonstrating. And these are my instructions and my supply list, and they all come with full color photos, nice color photos, a lot of details. I'm very, very specific, very, very detailed of how I teach this fabric collage. But for April 24th, Saturday, 3 to 4, I'm going to be doing this live. And yes, it will be recorded, so you can't, if you're not able to watch it in your time zone at that time, you will be able to watch the recording. If you want to register for that, that's info@calicohorses.com, and just get on board for that. So that's going to be coming up in April. So let's talk about this. This fabric collage is one of the things I keep getting from most people is that they don't know how to pick out fabrics. They're really stuck with this. They just don't understand it. They love to watch what I'm doing, but they don't understand how to put it all together. And I'm going to back this up so you can see it a little bit better. So obviously, this isn't one big teal blue piece of fabric that I cut. This came from many scraps. So this is what my scraps look like, all right? Lots and lots of scraps. And you can see I have my calico horses in here, all different types of fabric and sizes. So look at this little print. Let's look at this little print. So this little print enables me to get into some different regions, and we're going to pull it over here so you can see it. And I'm going to be using some smaller little flowers in some areas and then some larger prints in other areas. It just depends on how I'm trying to illustrate the animal. Now, in my blogs, and you can go to calicohorses.com, I've got free blogs, 6 parts, part 1 all the way to 6, and I take you step by step in picking the fabric. It really is, it's as if I'm right there with you. I can't do it any better than to put this blog out there for you. So when you are starting fabric collage and you want to know how I do mine, I've given it all to you. And so you just need to go get your scraps together, read my blogs. You're welcome, Zoe. Read my blogs and you'll be able to do this work. So let's take a look at this. This is what I'm going to be demonstrating April 24th for those of you who are watching, and you might be tuning in later, and I'm talking about it now. This is a class I gave. I think I gave it in September of this year. It might have been September, or maybe it was last year. I don't know. But I did this class. It was a 2-day webinar, and that's 5 hours a day, 2 days in a row, that my students all tuned in to do this. They all got the pattern, a hug above, and they tuned in and they made this collage with me. So I'm going to show you in this demonstration how to take it from start to finish. So this is a piece that I was in the process of working on for this demonstration, and you can see my background. There's my background. I just picked something that was would make the koala stand out, so I'm always looking for contrast. Now, when I do my art, a lot of times I will be doing some embellishment. So in this piece, you'll see embellishment. I will be talking about that as I take you through my demonstration, because it's always fun to add embellishment. It just adds more interest to the picture. So this is what it looks like before, and this is after, and this is the pattern. So now we're going to talk about picking the fabrics, and you can see they're little pieces of cut up fabric. See that? There's a little crab here. Now, what am I doing? I'm looking at the overall color scheme here. I went with blue, and I don't have a picture. I haven't picked out what I'm doing with the little one yet. It's a work in progress. This one I went with teal and lavenders. So when I'm doing this work, I look in my stash, right? I've got all these scraps. I've got stripes. I've got flowers. I've got all kinds of stuff here. I've got little seashells. And I'm going to cut little scraps, and I'm going to build the anatomy of the animal by following the shapes of the fabric. And you can even see I tucked a little horse in here. This is from my fabric, Calico Horses. So when you do this work, you let the fabric do the work for you. So if you're going to be doing this work, I'm trying to create this tree here. There's this interesting tree. Happens to be bright pink. I went into my stash. This is just my scraps. I went into my stash and I looked for all the hot pink. I just started pulling out fabric. So here we go. Here's some beautiful orange. So if I was doing oranges, I pick out all my oranges. Bang, 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 bang. I'm just going to keep pulling them out. And I have them all lined up. And from there, I start to look at the movement of the fabric. So we'll look at these. This is like a watermelon slice. I'm looking at the way the leaves go. How does that help me turn the form? That's what it's called, turning the form. I want to pick a fabric that pulls your eye down. Look how these modeled fabrics makes it look like part of the tree. This is from Philip Jacobs' Roaring 20 line, which I absolutely love. And then the rest of it, see the dark fabric I put in there for the shadows? And then all of that is done with thread work. So it starts out being very patchy looking, and I'm just laying it in. Look how I picked fabrics that shows almost like fur. See how the fur is going? I'm always looking at the direction of the fur, the muscles, and the anatomy to pull this together. So here's these stages that you're seeing. This is the beginning stages where I'm just putting in all these little scraps of fabric. I've done more detailed work on the face already. This is just all little scraps of fabric. This is fabric collage. And you can see I baste them in, and that's all in my blogs. You can read my blogs. It'll show you this is how I do this work step by step. And then here is the finished piece. I do not use any pin. I still use pins. I don't use any glue. Good question, Deanna, and that's in my blog. So you'll know that I only pin. So I'm going to be cutting out all these little pieces. Thank you, Martina. Put out all these little pieces, and I'm going to pin them. And I'm going to pin them with the pins pointing up, and you're going to see that, again, it's in my blog. I think it's like part 2 of my blog. And you'll pick out these directional fabrics, put them all together, and pin them in the direction. So when you're basting, you're pulling the pins as you go. There's no glue needed. If I had to glue all this, I would, no thank you. I just don't want to be bothered with this. Here's a little piece of fabric that's showing those. So there you see, it's even in the eyes. That's in the instructions. I'm very, very clear with that, how to do the eyes, because the skin, right, the koala has skin or fur. That's got to be going on first before I do any of the eyes. So let's look at over here. So now those little patches that I put for skin around the animal's eyes, you can't even tell where the patches end and where they begin. That's how I create fabric collage, and you can too. And you can see I did some fun 12 weight stitching in here, so I gave it a little bit of texture in the background. I'm using a tearaway stabilizer, which is in instructions, but I prefer to use a hoop, an embroidery hoop that keeps it from puckering. I love to use that, and that is an option for you. You do not, you can use a hoop if you don't like seeing it. If you don't like using a hoop, then go ahead and use a tearaway stabilizer. Lola, thank you so much. It's a fun way to work. I enjoy it. It's a very intuitive way. And what do I mean by that? That means if I'm looking over at my fabrics and I go, man, I really like this fabric. What can I do with this? I want to get these lines that will take your eye and see the length of the arm or the length of the horse's muscle. You love the 12 weight, my sky. Thank you, Deanna. I really do love working with 12 weights. And I'll take you back here because I always use these as an example. So we're talking today about fabric collage and how we're looking at fabrics to draw your eye and movement. So if you look over here, this tree, this is the chest muscle of the horse. So I picked that tree to give that look, to imply that the muscles all go up and out. That's how the anatomy is. And I'm trying to get you to see the anatomy. Let me back up here so you can see this better. This was just on the cover of Quilting Arts magazine, this particular piece, and it's one of my favorites. I did a lot of work on this, and as you can see, I'm going to pull in a little bit more. So let's look at this. So this is the jawline, and I use this fabric that goes in this direction so that I'm using directional fabrics to make your eye see the anatomy of the horse. Here's the barrel of the horse. There's a nice big stomach, and so I use these fans to make your eye see the expansion of that area. And you can do this too, and it's all in my blogs, and I'm going to be doing a live demo April 24th, 3 to 4 p.m. I made it on a Saturday. I've had a lot of people that say, Lorraine, please put it on a weekend. I work. And so I'm offering it again. I'm doing my thread painting is March 27th coming up, and this is going to be April 24th on a Saturday. So you can learn how to do fabric collage. Just watch me. You don't need any tools. You don't need any supplies. You're just going to watch me. So just think of it this way. It's like taking one of my blogs and having me step you through the blog. So the blog's there. It's already there, and you can go on my website and read it. But this will be me saying, okay, in part 1, I talked about this, and I will show you. I will demonstrate how to do that. So if you'd like to be a part of that, just register. It's info@calicohorses.com and get on board for this. So again, this is my scraps. This is what I'm going to be looking for even polka dots. I can use these polka dots. I use them in a lot of my work. Here's some great, okay, see the movement of this leaf? I can use that movement of the leaf. I can put it in the ear of the koala. I can get this ear all just by putting that leaf, because that stem is going to show the movement of the ear. That's what I'm talking about. Learn to use fabrics that do the work for you. It's a lot easier. There's a lot of people, and this is another thing I'm learning. So this is me learning. Let me sit down here. I'm finding out that people are having trouble with picking colors. They don't know how to pick colors. They've never done this before. And they're like, Lorraine, how do you even know where to start? Where do you begin? Well, as you know, I am an artist. So I have that experience. I have that training. That's in my background. And I don't expect you to be an artist. I told you this many times. I just want you to be observant. But I'm going to teach you how to take the values. Values are, let's look at this again. Values are when you see the same, it's basically the same color, right? We're working with teals here, but look at the shadows. We've got navy here. That's the darkest of blues. And in the youngster, I've got the deepest purple because it's lavender. So where I find my shadows, I'm just going to take that same color scheme and I'm going to add it in a darker value. So that turns the form. See that shadow, how it makes it look like the little baby sitting behind the mother? Look at the foot. The foot is in shadow here. Now, we all know that the fur of the animal is pretty much, when you look at a koala, when you look at a wolf, when you look at a bear, it's not like it changes color like a painted horse. That's not what we're talking about. But this particular leg is in the shadow underneath the arm. And so I'm picking fabrics that have a deeper value. If you look at that, you can see I also did a lot of thread work here. I'm picking the same color scheme, but it's in this arm is in the background. It's a darker color. But by placing it next to the lighter chest area, you can see that that arm goes into the shadow. Look down here. This is a very dark fabric that I put right at the elbow for that little shadow. And as you can see, a lot of thread work is going on here. That's about it. You know me, I can talk forever about fabric collage, but I really want to encourage you to look at ways just fabrics. I've got this whole stash of fabrics. Look at the way fabrics can do the work for you. Do you see the movement of this fabric? This fabric would look great on any area to indicate the fur. See that? So I'm just going to constantly look and flip and move and get that. Oops, it just said I rotated it. Sorry about that. Hang on. There. So this right here, if I wanted to indicate this movement underneath the koala, I could use this fabric because it's got direction. See this direction? This is how you know how to add this. I know it for some people, they just don't get it. They're really struggling with it. Just watch me do it. And I think that it'll make your eyes go, aha, you'll have that aha moment and you'll be able to pop this in. These are called, these little motifs I put in. This is, as I talked about this quite regularly, this is a relationship between the animals sharing the natural resources of our planet, and I like to put all different elements of animals and nature into my animals. That's how I work. Does anybody have any questions? I'm hoping that you sign up for the fabric collage demonstration. I've never done this before. I think this will help a lot of people. Again, we're going to be working on a hug-a-bub. That's this koala. And you'll be able to see me do it in stages. So this is the before. This is the after. And I'm going to take you step by step through this fabric collage pattern. My patterns are in my Etsy shop. How cool is it that you are able to get a pattern and watch me do it? I think that might be fun. And I think it might help you understand the process even more. And again, I'll be talking about embellishments and how you can really make this your own. That's what this is all about. It's not about a bunch of Lorraines out there. It's about how you can take your favorite fabrics and put them into your work and have your fabrics really represent your heart. That's what this is about. So I just want to thank you. I guess that's it for today. It was pretty short, but I didn't have to see any questions. I'll just pause for a minute, see if there's any questions. I have other fabric collage patterns, and we'll be talking about them as well. A lot of you probably don't even know this, but I've got several fabric collage patterns that are available. These are the first in the series that I've created, and they all go to help endangered animals. This one is a texture that we use. This is a blooming bias, and these kittens, that pattern is available as well. But this pattern is the one I'm going to be demonstrating on, so you can take it step by step with me, just like you were in a class with me. I think that's pretty good. It's only an hour. It will be recorded, and it's going to expire, so it'll be a 30-day expiration on this. All of my work and supports endangered animals. I try to keep it short and sweet and easy for you so you can follow along and do it on your own. That's what this is all about. You need to just find that magic that's inside of you. I know that you have it. I've had many students that have never done this in their life, and they've created beautiful works of art. So watch this, read my blogs, and get involved with this. I think you're going to love it. I'll see you back here next Tuesday with Turner at the same time. Please bring a friend. Tell your friends about it. And together we can create some beautiful art. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to register, go to info@calicohorses.com. If you scroll up after this, you're going to see a promo for it. I put a little ad about this workshop that I'm going to be giving. And you'll find this on my website soon. All right, everybody, I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.